Yo, this episode of The Flash was pretty damn dope, man. The Flash season 5, episode 10, The Flash and the Furious, and we definitely got some furious ass people in this episode because, well, the episode starts off. We see Nora's speed at 2049, where she just blows up and goes off on earbud Thawne, killing her grandmother, rightfully so. And what ends up happening is she says, "Look, man, F you, earbud, I'm no longer working with you." And so we go to present day where Cecile is pretty much prosecuting Weather Witch for her crimes. And Barry had to speed off and stop Silver Ghost, the new meta, who has power. Her power is basically her meta technology allows her to pretty much just hijack vehicles and so forth. We learned to find out her real name is Zara Van Zan, and turns out she's a dishonorably discharged soldier from the military. And so that's what Iris finds out when she does some more research on her. And so during um, Barry's chase to try to stop her, and she was riding up in the Lambo that she stole from this businessman that got pulled over for a DUI. Barry tries to phase through the car and get her, but the force field from her Metatech blows him away, and which disrupts Barry's powers, and you just cannot stop quantum tunneling or phasing. So, Nora pretty much just runs him to Star Labs, and they put him in a cell so that way they can take away his powers and figure out what's wrong with him. And also in the episode, Cecile, while she's in the courtroom processing, I should say prosecuting Weather Witch, this is when Nora takes Barry's place during the cross examination, Weather Witch stands up on the stand and just admits full guilt. She gets transported into Star, to pretty much Iron Heights, but then that's when Silver Ghost breaks her out, and there's a whole freaking high speed chase with Nora going after her, and even Weather Witch even tries to help Nora. She actually does. When Nora's dead going after her, and she puts ice on the ground so then that way Nora doesn't get run over by Weather Witch, because I'm sorry, by Silver Ghost who's driving the Lambo, because Weather Witch doesn't want it. She wants to atone for her crimes. She wants to be forgiven for those. She wants to do her time. Now, Weather Witch tries to get to Silver Ghost, but she can't because she's just so far gone. And at the end, at the end of the episode, they actually end up getting away. So that probably won't be the last time we see those two. But when you drop the episode, Caitlin removes the last remaining shards of Cicada's dagger from Cisco's hands and hope that when his hands heal, he'll go back to using his powers. But and I like the little reference to X-Men too that they did with Cisco forming the cure, the metahuman cure, because Cisco was thinking that man, I've realized that I spent so much of my life at X5 that I forgot to be Cisco Ramon. So Cisco was saying like, why don't I just create a cure for all metahumans so then that way they won't get their powers. Now, of course, Caitlin's like, wait a second, well, we shouldn't just force this on people. Of course, Cisco's like, well, he's like, of course I'm not gonna do this. That's something that they agreed upon throughout the episode. But like what's her face? When Silver Ghost came into play, so Killer Frost came out of nowhere and destroyed the remaining shards that Cisco had for the cure. And the problem is, now Silver's like, wait, what the hell am I gonna do now? But Caitlin comes back and realizes that, hey, look, my father was working on something very similar to that. So and then they vowed to never try to force the cure on anyone. And they're gonna commit 100% to it. And then we see Sherlock has dinner with Barry. He's asking him about, so what about the language you were speaking when you came out of the Speed Force? They got in that little bit of a conversation. And then towards the very end of the episode, we see Sherlock going to the Speed Lab, not Speed Lab, but what do you call it? The time vault. And he asks Gideon, give me all the files on Nora West Allen. Gideon says Nora deleted all of the files of herself. So, that right there is a big red flag right there. You see at the very end of the episode that she goes back to 2049. Nora goes back to 2049 and tells Eobard, look, I'm going to amend things with you. And I want to continue to work with you. Which is exactly what Eobard was hoping for. He was waiting on her to do that. And just like Eobard thought, he's always about, I'll say, at least 10 steps ahead of Barry. Like, he just knows. He's so neurotic. He's just so just freaking so left field with everything, man, towards Barry that he just does not. He has such a deep disdain for him. Like, he's just like, I just want to ruin the Flash forever. So yeah, I think this is just eating right into the palm of Thawne's hand right here. So that's why when I see next week's episode, seeing red, I'm really looking forward to that episode because I want to see Barry let off some steam and so forth. And I'm also looking forward to Harley Sawyer's character, Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man, and Grant Gustin really doing their thing when they go underground looking for Cicada and trying to defeat him somehow. So this has been your boy Chase Reese. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any requests for any videos you guys want to do next, let me know in the comments below. They're always welcome. They always will be. This has been your boy Chase Reese. I love you guys. Peace and love. Oh, guys, I've almost forgot one thing too. We finally figure out where Joe's been for the past few weeks. As we all know, Jesse L. Martin had a back injury during the summer hiatus of the Flash, and he was seen in a few episodes of the Flash, just sitting down for the most of the time because of his back injury. And we find out, during the scene where Cecile's, prosecuting Weather Witch, that her power started to go a little haywire, and she finds out that Joe's just been in Blue Valley with Jenna visiting Wally. So that's where Joe's been, and I like how they actually chop that up. It's actually pretty intriguing if you ask me. But for this time, y'all, peace and love. I just wanted to add that in there real quick.